are an Indian or Pakistan living in the UK or planning to move here, this is not just a video, it is a reality check. Something has changed in the story, something that many people have missed. I have been watching quietly, listening to stories, reading between the lines, and what I found, 7 specific rules that shifted the tide. Rules that turn struggles into stability, fear into confidence, and isolation into belonging. This isn't about politics. It is about people, real people, maybe someone like you watching this video. In this video, I am going to walk you through 7 rules that define the immigrant experience for Indians and Pakistanis in the UK, one by one, with evidence, with emotion, and with truth. Rule number 1, Title sponsorship systems.
You tend to get a lot of patients here, and in turn you'll get a lot of exposure on different kinds of patients, which you would not get there in India.
In the UK, the emergency system is running for past 50 years. So they have a good protocol-based system here. So I would like to work here and gain that knowledge.
I wanted to move to London because it's one of the best cities in the world. We had few doctors whom we got in contact with and then asked about Northwick Park. And they said it's really good. The consultants are really nice here.
On behalf of everybody, we know how difficult it's been for every single person over the last 12 or 18 months. It's been non-stop and really tough. We know that. And that's the reason why we've recognised and made it a key priority of the organisation to look after everybody and their well-being.
The Title visa became a golden key, especially for skilled workers from India and Pakistan between 2010 and 2024. The NHS opened its doors to international health professionals like never before. 80% of Title health and care visas in some years were granted to Indians and Pakistani nationals. But it wasn't just the opportunity, it was the structure. With sponsorship came legal protection, job security, a path to settlement. In a system that often marginalized migrants, the Title structure offered legitimacy. That structure changed lives. Rule number 2, the graduate route. This was quiet, often underhyped, but the graduate route introduced in 2021 offered migrants an opportunity they had never seen before. 2 years, no sponsorship required, just time to find a job. And that time made all the difference. Thousands of South Asians went from student visas to full-time professionals. It wasn't just freedom, it was breathing space. For the first time, immigration wasn't a race against time. It was a doorway to long-term plan. Rule number 3, family reunification privileges. Most people don't realize how deeply the UK immigration rules protect families. Spouse visas, dependent children, parents joining later. For many South Asians, this was the glue. The silent strength. Once your family join you, your mental health improves, your productivity rises, and your desire to stay long-term gets stronger. It shifted the story from survival to settlement, from paycheck to planning family changes every time. Rule number 4, anti-discrimination laws. Racism exists, but what changed the story was legal protection. The Equality Act of 2010 became a quiet weapon. It gave immigrants the confidence to speak up, to challenge workplace bias, housing discrimination, school exclusion. Many don't even know they are protected, but those who do, they work differently as well because the law is behind them. That changed the story, not by removing racism, but by giving people the tools to fight it.
Workplace diversity is the representation of different cultures, identities, and perspectives within an organization. Embracing workplace diversity is important because it leads to increased creativity, better problem solving, and a more inclusive and supportive environment.
Rule number 5, access to public services. Here is something simple. but powerful. Indians and Pakistanis who obtained indefinite leave to remain gained access to the NHS, housing assistance, education support, and more from family who came from scarcity. This was stability. For students who couldn't afford private healthcare, it was security. This rule changed the story from exclusion to inclusion.
It is nice to know that I'm helping people, and I think that's the heart of my profession, and I love to do that. Always wanted to be a doctor since I was a child, because I like to help people, and I think that's what fulfills my life, really.
Rule number 6, entrepreneurship and self-employment window. When you walk through the shops and factories in the UK, you will find that South Asians own businesses everywhere in the UK, from corner shops to multi-million pound tech firms. But many forget UK immigration laws open up path for self-employment even under students or graduate status. There were legal gray areas that allowed side businesses, and those businesses built empires. This was freedom, not just of movement, but of money. It allowed immigrants to move from being job seekers to job creators, and that changed everything.
Latest move to address safety concerns.
Rule number 7, the human right grounds for stay. And then there is a rule no one talks about, the human right rule, the 7-year child policy, the right to family life under Article 8. These weren't just legal clauses, they were lifelines. They allowed families to stay even when visas expired. They protect children from being uprooted. They gave thousands of people a second chance. These rules save futures quietly, legally, and powerfully. So, what changed the story for Indians and Pakistanis living in the UK? Not luck, not silence, but structure, protection, and possibilities. These 7 rules, some written in bold ink, some hidden in quiet clauses, shape the outcome of millions of lives. If you're watching this, maybe you are part of that story, or maybe you are about to begin one. Know your rights, know the rules, because when you are under them, you no longer just survive, you rise. This is the Lens 24. Thank you for watching. Check out our next video on the tab.